Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the Turtlecast. Yes, it's time. It's weekend again. And who do I see in the chat? Aluful, Happy Turtle, Billy, Hunicat, B-Boy J Styles, RHPS, Andras Sonorot, Rascal Solipsista, Maximilian Smith, Jacob Warner, Wack9379, Erin Fekik, Puzix, Volanzer, welcome. And I bet more will be joining soon. So nice to see you already in here. We did get the patch on Tuesday, and it's a little bit of rocky road, as usually with those patches recently. I mean, not recently. Overall, they're more or less buggy, but one thing guaranteed, there will be bugs. No matter what's introduced, the only amount of bugs is the question with each patch. This one is kind of on the bad side with all the, some of them are very annoying. I will compile video with bugs that do exist and possible workarounds that we know so far. There's no perfect workaround for every possible bug, but yes, there are some, at least some. How is the patch, I wanted to say bug, how is the patch treating you? The most annoying bug for me is definitely the one that do unequip all your emoji from the Atom shop, all your tent skins, all your drop bag skins, like basically all skins that you are using unequipped every time you reopen the game, which is, quite annoying. The Bigfoot is cool. Yes, I agree. The Bigfoot is definitely a nice addition. I wish we could get more than just a Bigfoot, but I'm guessing they decided to focus on rework for armor, rework for events, and so on. Was it necessary? I don't know. In my opinion, so far, it's a no, but it depends. Like, if there is any future content that requires those changes, then okay, I do understand. If there is nothing that requires those changes, then I do not understand. Yeah, the season is much smaller than usually in regards of how many rewards is there. Yeah, the sorting is not persistent in the Pip-Boy, yes. Every time you reopen, everything reset. Oh, Billy, you are getting kicked out of the servers. I did not experience that. I didn't experience getting kicked out of the servers. If you crafted bolstering modbox and it seems like it didn't appear, it may be related to another bug. If you have this modbox locked, you cannot use it for crafting. You cannot apply it to anything. I'm not even sure if that's a bug or intentional change, but whatever mod boxes you have locked or any item, like even if you lock your scrap in the scrap box, this scrap will not be able to be used for crafting. Maybe that's intentional, I don't know. It's still weird for me as I do lock my legendary mod boxes so I don't accidentally scrap them, but then I need to unlock them now when I want to install it or anything on my gear. So that's very inconvenient. FPS drops. You need to check all your settings. I heard some reports that some settings, including graphic driver settings, reset for some people. And if you are running any mods, there is a lot of mod conflicts. If you are on PC running mods, there are new mod conflicts. On consoles, there is additional problem. Everyone who remapped the buttons is having even more problems with the Pip-Boy. If you aim and you need to manually deactivate the aim, again, check the settings. There is a settings for that. So maybe that switch itself in your game settings, and now you have permanent locked aim. Instead of holding the button, you just press it to engage, press it to de-engage. It's a setting for that. Yeah, bolstering was buffed until initial video, so now bolstering is good again. Unfortunately, Vanguard was not buffed, so only bolstering was. Yeah, every time we log in, every skin is unequipping itself from Atomic Shop. This is the worst annoying one. Yeah, some people report that they have pacifist mode deactivated even though they didn't change any settings. Hello there, Papa Digger and Godly Leo on Twitch. Do I think AFK Torn build is possible with new aristocrats? All type of AFK don't hit yourself builds are now possible, especially power armors. Power armor you have aristocrats and you have reflective on 4-star plus additional bosses. So yeah, you can absolutely be standing still and everything else dies, at least as long as your armor do not break. And armor tends to break more with this update. Okay, before we be talking more, let's start from questions that you have for me on Ask the Turtle section. Ask the Turtle section on Turtle Army Discord, our Discord, and let's see what I can answer. So there we go. Rascal is first. When scrapping items, I randomly got Defenders, which is now 40% chance to auto-block. And that got me thinking, would it be of any use against terrors in raid stage 2, or it only works on initial hit and the dot doesn't care about it? It could be helpful with them, like there is a way to spec quite a bit into blocking and deflecting damage too. It's just a lot of perks and legendary effects. Question 2. Will you do a comparison video for legendary effect changes in regard to armor rework, overeaters versus bolstering, elementalists versus 2 endurance, and so on? I could think about something like that in the future. I do not guarantee anytime soon. Would be a lot of comparison. Plus, like elementalist versus 2 endurance, different stuff and depend what you are facing. Elementalist is good for elemental resistances, not as noticeable for damage resistance, energy resistance, as those usually you already have high. And endurance overall increases your health pool and stats if you are human with other endurance perks. Overeaters versus bolstering is easier to compare, but bolstering is very strong. So if you are running low health build, bolstering will win. That's like 50% damage reduction. Overeaters is more health, so it would shine against like dots and this type of damage. Hello, Mr. T. The jump mutation is still backed. Can jump on the red trailer with strengthening numbers equipped at the Nuka World on tour. I recently tried to do raids. I can't get past the first level, not because I'm dying, but I can't do any damage to it. I was using 2-shot armor with reflective and bolstering reflective, gauss minigun, and with yo heavy raids build from before the patch. You can't kill the shield. I can kill the shield with my Ricochet Aristocrat's armor, so I don't know what can be causing that. I can kill the shield, so I don't have the same experience. Now, regarding Bigfoot, some of this is outdated, but you can confirm any of this as I could not. Damage type players have found success using plasma, ultrasight, or fusion. Okay, the thing with the Bigfoot, there are so many people around. The secret is just headshots and it's dead in 10 to 15 seconds with enough participation. But thank you for all the extra details. Maybe if someone's trying to solo it, that could be useful. Worthy note. In this one fight, and I could not replicate it, but I was shooting him in the head in VATS and he turned for like a second away from me and my damage spiked. It seems to be from me, although can never be sure. With Gauss minigun. Again, with Bigfoot, some people report that it's dying really fast from Pain Train and Choo Choo. Next, Haiti. I got a question about explosives breaking armor so fast. What am I wondering about is what does more damage to your armor at point blank self explosion or an explosion from the same weapon from another player? If another player with the same weapon and same stats does less damage to your armor than the self inflicted damage, then something has to be wrong, I think. Is there any way you can test this? Because my self testing made me notice if I die or knock myself down, my gear doesn't take any damage at all. This only goes for normal armor. My power armor still breaks. So the damage that armor takes is ridiculously high. That's because new calculation is being used. So explosive damage is first hitting armor with full power. Armor reduces this damage, and then it's reduced again by 90% with new built-in self-damage resistance all players have, but it's after armor. Therefore, armor is taking all the hits. From other players, it should be similar. Generally, it was like that before. Didn't matter if you hit yourself or other players hit you, assuming the PvP scenario. I don't really do much PvP. It doesn't work. It's not worth it. Next, not a question, but useful info for everyone who doesn't have Brotherhood of Steel recon armor plans. Minerva will be selling them at Fort Atlas on 6th of April. So it's still a month away. Cost of full set, 5,500 gold bullion without helmet. Gold bullion, like helmet is not worth it. 2,000 gold bullion for helmet that is just a cosmetic. So hurry up with farming and treasure nodes, guys. Yeah, I'm saving for that with my human characters. Daily ops still bagged, so you cannot obtain it from daily ops. Next, I know Vanguard is bad, but I still have to know what is the highest health achievable without temporary buffs like food, camp drugs, kill streaks, etc. Ignoring 3-star endurance on weapons. It's quite high, as now we have overeaters for additional 200 health. Therefore, it's somewhere like 800, 900 with full spec build. So it's possible very high, but you need overeaters or armor. Therefore, you cannot have vanguards, as that's the same first star. So if you spec for actually the highest health, you cannot use vanguard, which is a little bit weird, but that's how it is. You build full tank, max health, like a juggernaut build. You cannot use vanguard, as you are running overeaters then. Hello AT. With the recent changes to armor and the blocker perk, my melee feral ghoul has been feeling exceptionally squishy. I was running torn armor before, but it doesn't seem to have enough damage reduction against harder hitting melee enemies. It was mainly noticeable against Bigfoot, who would easily break my armor in a couple of hits and could kill me in about 3 hits. Like, Bigfoot is strong, so don't worry about tanking it. I did switch to Brotherhood Recon armor, but was still taking a ton of damage. I was using Aristocrat, Strength through Haika, Bruiser on the armor with a total of about 1k physical resistance. So Aristocrats is not reducing any damage that you are taking. Aristocrats is offensive prefix that does damage to enemies, does not reduce damage you are taking. So if you want to be more tanky, Aristocrats will not help you. You want Lucid on a ghoul, but no, you are feral, so you cannot really use Lucid. So you can, if you are going low health, you can run bolstering. If you are not running low health, the choices are limited. You could run mutants if you have all the mutations. Mutants would be close in the defensive department. Not yet. Aristocrats is offensive one. My question is, do you have any recommendation to make my melee build tankier? I was thinking that all of the blocker perks might actually be worth it. If you're really struggling with melee attackers, yes, on melee build, you can spec fully for blocking stuff. Suppressor and feral presence could help versus singular target. Power armor would definitely help much more versus tougher targets than all of that above. Power armor would definitely help more. Since blocker is null and void, with a quad commander, is it possible to stack Bulletstorm high enough to use bringing in the big guns, or is it a waste? It is possible. I mean, depend what weapon we are talking about. If we are talking Elder's Mark, and you add Quick Hands, yeah, absolutely it is possible. Have you noticed as a carnivore, +8 foods are giving only +7 now? I'm suspecting a bug to healing factor affecting all buffs now and not only chems. That's what I'm suspecting is happening here. I still need to test that, but yes. I'm expecting healing factor is affecting more than it's supposed to, in the negative way. And that will conclude as the territory section, so we are heading back to the chat. Oh, before, I almost forgot. There was one announcement from Bethesda, so maybe let's switch to that. They acknowledge some stuff. Let me open that. Okay, here it is. So from Bethesda. Thank you all for your feedback and reports for the Backwoods update. The team is looking into many of the topics that have been reported and will be providing you with updated information as soon as we can. We wanted to let you know that we'll be temporarily disabling your mined machines and map drops while the team investigates your reports on this feature. Thank you for your patience. So basically, those maps do not work. You activate them, they should spawn a quest for you, and they do not. Any maps you currently have will remain usable, assuming it will actually work for you. Doubtful, but you will not be able to obtain new ones for the time being. From what I hear, some people were able to activate the map once, but then second time it was already impossible. So they managed to do one map, but generally they bugged. Now back to chat. You notice no specs are showing when wearing full Vanguard? What spec should show? You need to inspect armor piece. It says how much it's giving you in term of protection. Yeah, the rats taken, you will notice that you are taking more rats. It can be countered relatively easily. Like they made it so everyone takes more rats, but with what rats legendary perk, you can be completely immune to rats anywhere and run in the nuke zone without radaways. Yeah, the latest guide on Guardian that I published is the fastest one yet. Later on, I will do a pro version too for everyone who wants to see how fast it goes with full spec and game gear. But it's already very fast. It's a beginner level. It's under a minute. The full fight is under the minute. So the kill phase, like the Guardian is immune to damage for first 30 to 35 seconds. So the full fight is taking 20 seconds. People kill enemies before they turn legendary on eviction notice. On eviction notice, they will not turn legendary as much as they used to. Bethesda decided to reduce the legendary spawns on eviction notice. So you will not get so many legendaries, even if everyone waits. Your favorite weird still lags on the Guardian? My do not lag anymore since they did the Pip-Boy changes. Your recipes unlearn themselves. I wasn't checking if I can still craft Susan's tea. Mutants is worth running if you have like all mutations. I think 16 you need to have. And definitely better than Vanguard, yes. 1% less, but you don't need to have 1k health to benefit from mutants. And mutants continues to work when your health is dropping, and Vanguard's is not. Oh, that's interesting. So just one is saying that he has two accounts, and on one he can use locked mod boxes from inventory, on other one he cannot. Okay, so that's weird. I was thinking they generally block that. Maybe that's new bug. Do I have a plasma caster build? Yes, it's in my plasma caster video that I already published. The glowing criticals are only sometimes worth it if you have room, as glowing criticals is relatively weak. 3 points for 50% bonus. So yeah, in some scenario, you can run it, yes, but it's relatively weak. Even if you crit every other shot, that total of average 25% additive damage with 3 points, which is not great. Let's be honest. You still get 9 rats per second with what rats, but what rats is healing 6, isn't it? So you should be at -3. And if you increase your rat resist, I'm assuming that's without power armor. In power armor, you shouldn't be taking 9. Automatic melee are slower. I didn't use an automatic melee, but maybe they are slower. I don't know. I will need to test that. Maybe add it to my notes. Maybe that's a bug. I don't know if that's intentional. Like automatic melee, for example, Outrax is not OP for quite a while now. So if they nerfed even further the attack rate, then I don't know why. That doesn't make sense. Like making melee weaker when it's already not on top and requires you to be close to enemy. There was nothing in the patch notes, so if that happened, I hope it's a bug and not intentional change. Nothing in the patch notes about auto melee being adjusted in any way. I'm making a video about auto block system at some point, yes. Trying to catch up with chat. I'm a little bit behind. What power armor? The trio of the best power armors remains. So Vulcan, Union, top 2, and then Strangler hard, but really hard to get mods for this one. Yeah, the new mods like Lucid are hard to get. I agree, as they only drop from bounty hunting system. Bolstering is good, yes. Speed cap limit increase is very helpful. We can move so much faster and complete raids faster. Like stage 2 raid is finally under 2 minutes. Peppa Shaker is one of the strongest weapon currently. If not the reloads after 50 shots, it would be number 1 DPS. If you deduct the reload time, that's the highest DPS weapon. Why only 2 levels of sneak on Guardian build? Because that's what's needed. You don't need to add more. You are already in Caution with 2 ranks. So adding more do not help with anything. And you can use those points for better stuff. That's why 2 ranks. 1 rank is not enough, you'll get detected. 2 ranks is perfect. 3 ranks is just overkill. You only need to stay hidden for the initial phase before the first shot with a Saldron head. So with regular armor, you have 9 rats per second. Yeah, that's about right with regular armor. But you can still boost your rat resist. Do you have max out Ironclad, Devil's Messenger? And you are someone is saying that regular chainsaw is doing more damage than auto axe now. Possible, who knows? Yeah. Now they made it so if you use explosive weapon close to yourself, your armor blows off. It's very annoying for explosive weapon users unless you make a build that just run on broken armor. I did that with when I was running launchers. Just accepted the fact that both legs will always be blown off armor pieces and broken. Is that what tends to be getting hit by explosions by leg? Yes, Tesla cannon can be explosive, depend on the nozzle that you put on it. You can survive the stalkers now, yes, in the raid. You just need to pop Stimpack quickly as there is quite significant dot. Power armor or non-power armor, the build is usually the same if you are using weapons. Like it's up to you if you want to run power armor. It makes more sense for some builds, less for other. But weapon-wise, it doesn't matter if you are in power armor or not. There is only one power armor related heavy gun perk, stabilized, and that's only about accuracy. Nothing else is attached anymore to the power armor or not power armor. So only improved accuracy with heavy guns. So not a big deal. Yeah, Quad Peppa Shaker is a solid choice, yes. I like Furious a lot because it can hit so hard, but then you cannot have Quad, you need to choose. Quick Hands locked for anyone else? It's locked if you are a ghoul. At least it's supposed to be, that's a human perk. Before the patch it was bugged and ghouls were able to equip it. Devil's Messenger max out what rats, but do you have Ironclad, like Endurance perk max out? While Peppa Shaker has only 55% bats accuracy when you're fighting the snake. Snake Eye is a very difficult weak spot, so all weapons have low accuracy. Unless you boost your VAS accuracy. Now there is new machine for your camp that can boost it by 25%, and you can add perks. For high DPS, Ghoul has small edge thanks to weak spot damage multiplier. You're getting a lot of waiting for response from server. Probably some new bug. There is no prime mode for Peppa Shaker, no. Oh, Devil's Messenger have no space for Ironclad. So that will explain a little bit higher rat intake than I have. As Ironclad max out gives you extra 50% to your armor radiation resistance, so that would cut rat intake by 1 or 2 points. Thank you, I like my Voltec gaming chair too. No, it's not custom. It's available from Noble Chairs in UK. And Vofan, thank you a lot for extending your Prime sub. Appreciate that. And good evening to you too. What's new? Bigfoot is new. You can face Bigfoot in Vault. Yeah, emote wheel being empty, that's related to Atom Shop item unequipping themselves. I already talked about this bug. It's the most annoying one. Everything is unequipping itself. Yeah, Cryolator and other freezing effects are awesome in the raid, especially on the Snake. That's correct. Snake will never attack if you go from plate A and cripple plate by plate with cryo effect weapons. It will be very slow, constantly falling on its face, and will attack no one, and everyone can just unleash the damage. What status effects work on the Guardian? Not much, really. It can be crippled. I think it's immune to poison. You can freeze it. I'm not sure about the fire. I think you can set it on fire. You cannot bleed it. So poison bleed, that's out. So I think 30% is the max. What are some of the drawbacks playing as a ghoul? You lose access to some human perks, and you need a special disguise when you want to enter like Foundation, Interior, Enclave base, Brotherhood base. This is a little bit annoying. The disguise system. Not much drawbacks after that. The disguise system is the drawback. Strongest commando weapon, like classic stealth commando, is still Elder's Mark. Recommended 1 star for power armor in the raid. It depends on your build. Bolstering is great. Overeaters is great. Lucid is great. All those three are great for the raid, depending on your build. Of course, bolstering for low health builds. If you don't like using power armor, don't use it. You don't need to. Power armor gives superior protection. Yeah, there is a lot you can do without it. Yeah, Rip Daring has a conflict with Crashed Cargo Bot. It's not the same resource collector, so I'm guessing that's a bug. Rip Daring stash just has a conflict. I will do a video about all the existing bugs too. Maybe even later today. I did write them all down that I encountered so far, and there is a lot of bugs. And Lerox in the chat is saying just tested legendary Auto-Axe and Chainsaw is far outperforming the Auto-Axe. So I'm guessing they mess up something. It shouldn't be like that. Yeah, Nuke Zone is more dangerous now as you cannot block radiation like in the past. Like Power Armor will not block it. Hazmat Suit will not block it. You just need to use Radaways. Yeah, you cannot use bows with Power Armor, so that's exclusively non-Power Armor build. And no, Ripstash and Cargobot shouldn't be on the same slot because they collect different things. So it's always like if items collect exactly the same stuff, they are on the same slot, but those two do not. At first, I was thinking maybe that's a skin for a cargo bot that's just much smaller, but then after having it for a couple hours, I noticed it collects completely different stuff. It's like alcohols, chems in it. So, yeah, it shouldn't be the same slot. It's a bug. The ammo construction machine is the same as Armco construction machine that you can buy from Raiders. That's a skin for it. So it's very slowly producing ammo that you choose. It will take probably 10 to 20 minutes before you will see any ammo in it. It's very slow and not too much capacity in it. Yeah, for speed cap increase, squad maneuvers is great. If you are blooded build, emergency protocols already provide you with extra speed. So there are options, but yeah, squad maneuvers is probably the most universal and easy to get. Okay, let me check. I forgot to check follow.com if we have any new article and any more news. Do we? No, instead they're advertising Fallout Shelter season. I didn't play Fallout Shelter for a while. I don't know if I even should return. They added seasons, but there is no multiplayer. Like, honestly, what stops me from playing Fallout Shelter more is lack of multiplayer. Like, only so much you can do the same thing there solo. There would be some kind of a multiplier if I could face like other vaults or help or even co-op, like team up with other vaults for a mission, compete on some leaderboard, something interesting, but there is no multiplayer. And it's a cool game. It just I don't think seasons is gonna change anything here for me personally. I didn't try. I'm not convinced. Are you playing shelters? No, there should be container on this ARM appliance machine when you are close to it, like on the right, I think, under the computer. You should interact with the container. So I don't know why you cannot. You should be able to interact with container in this machine. Other players are destroying your armor during events. Do you have pacifist on? It shouldn't be possible if you have pacifist on. Check your settings. For some people, pacifist switch itself to off. Go to game settings, make sure the pacifist is on to protect yourself and your armor. What's the point of shelter once you max everything? Yeah, that's exactly it. They added seasons, but still, like doing quests and unlocking stuff. Like I already do seasons in Fallout 76 and now do seasons in Shelter. No. It shouldn't be possible to be killed by other players with pacifist on. In the past, there were exploits, so I don't know if any of them returned, but generally, no, it shouldn't be possible. And yeah, the machine needs power, so make sure you have power next to the machine in the camp for construction, for ammo construction machine. It doesn't need to be directly connected with a cable, it just needs wireless power. Oh, you found a bug that when you unlocked a safe, there was 1 star legendary item and like an opened legendary item box, and it was not possible to loot it. Okay, so they mess up with saves too. Yes, you can farm experience as ghoul. It's just harder, but you can. You just max out intelligence, almost ignore charisma, as you cannot max it out too much. Focus on intelligence first. If you can, regular ghoul. So you can improve charisma. Yeah, the feral ghoul cannot improve charisma. Regular ghoul, you can improve charisma. Try to hit 20 to 30 charisma, and you will be still good. Not as much as human, but still a lot. Human is better for experience thanks to unyielding armor. I have my coffee cup here. I will need to see if those containers, if I can reproduce this bag. But they're supposed to just be random legendary in those containers, not unlootable boxes. Potichap, thank you for extending your sub on Twitch. Appreciate that. Thank you. 38 months. "19 charisma, 68 intelligence as a goal." That's good. That's really good. You will get a lot of experience. Just make sure all other experience buffs you have applied, like lunchboxes, camp items, food. There is turtle drawing in the caves. Yes, there's a lot of turtle drawings in Fallout. They all secretly are looking for me there. And that being said, I think I answered all the questions from the chat about recent situation. I will still do the video compiling all the bugs I know about so far. The big bug update. The big bug has arrived. I don't know what title will be, but something like that. The Bigfoot, the play on the Bigfoot, the big bug, like on the live stream. Big bug has arrived. And yeah, that being said, we'll be heading for a member hangout to do my dailies. And hopefully we see each other tomorrow a little bit earlier than usually, as I'm invited to my friends. So I will be streaming like 2 hours earlier than usually. But there will be still stream, just earlier. And that being said, see you tomorrow then, everyone. Have fun with the Bigfoot and avoid the big bug. Bye. Take care.